as India prepares this vaccine plan, it comes at a time when there are concerns both in UK and US, which have just been expressed in the last 24 hours over the speed with which these approvals have been given, concerns over possible facial allergies that are following taking of the vaccine. Should we be concerned in India at all?
Yeah, so thank you for having me on. So a couple of things. I mean, first of all, both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, I don't have much concerns about the way that they have been developed. Or the way that they have been approved. That there's been very careful. I mean, Moderna has not been approved yet, but Pfizer is gotten approved in the UK, will probably be approved in the United States in the next 24 hours. And it's, the science here is very, very good. The bigger concern to me is the Astrazenca vaccine. That is what the Serum Institute in India has been building up, ramping up. That vaccine, I also don't have a lot. I think it's going to end up being a safe and effective vaccine, but the data has been far less clear, and the company has not been as forthcoming with sharing of information. So for me, vaccinations are going to be absolutely essential. I am not concerned about the science behind Moderna and Pfizer. I hope the AstraZeneca vaccine ends up being one of the ones we use, but we have to wait for more data on that before I would feel comfortable getting it myself. And of course, there are other vaccines in the works. So I think we need a little patience on some of those other vaccines.
But the reason I'm asking you this, Dr. Jha, is because in the Indian context, for example, Pfizer, many believe, is unfeasible, not just for cost, but because of the cold chain requirement, minus 70 degrees. So a lot of hopes are being pinned on the Oxford AstraZeneca Serum Institute vaccine. Do you believe that from an Indian perspective, we need to therefore wait to see more results, more trial results of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine before we can be confident of actually mass producing it?
So two things. First of all, on the issue of the Pfizer vaccine, beyond the cost, I know the minus 70 degrees Celsius is a challenge. I remind people that the Ebola vaccine also required minus 70 degrees, and they were able to get that out in the DRC. If they can get it out in the DRC, I think India can handle the Pfizer vaccine. Now, let's talk about the much more important one, the AstraZeneca one, because that's
DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, yes.
Yes, Democratic Republic. They could do it there. We can do it in India. Now, on the issue of the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine, the data came out yesterday in the Lancet. I've reviewed it. I think it will end up being a very good choice and a very good option for India, but I want to see more data than what they have released so far. And so I think the jury is still out on that, but I'm not saying we have to wait many, many months. I think we'll be getting more data from more trials that are ongoing. So far, it looks to be about 60, 70% effective, but there is some more data that suggests that it may be more effective than that. I think we need to see those trials get done before we get into widespread vaccination.